I have been pretty much wedded to Microsoft To Do for at least 5 years now, and that's due to its intentional simplicity, the aesthetics, and how it integrates into the rest of the Microsoft ecosystem like Outlook and Planner. But since August, I have changed my app to Todoist, and I had challenged myself to consolidate all of my use cases and needs into one task management system. So in this video, I am going to talk about 3 things: the change, the good, and the not yet. So hi, if you're new here, I am Jill, and this channel is all about trying to do life right with more of a focus on work life. So if that's your thing, you like the vibes, you like the content, why not like the video and hit that subscribe button. A while back, I did a video on trying to limiting my use on my smartphone. And I did this by using an app called Blank Spaces, which forced me to have just my essential apps on the home screen. But my challenge was that I had 2 task management apps. I had Microsoft To Do for my work life, all of the deliverables and things that I need to do in work. And then I used Apple Reminders for everything that I needed to stay on top of outside of work. So I had to pick one because I only wanted to have one task management app on this essential home screen. So the productivity nerd in me was thrilled at the idea of trying to just pick one. So I did my research and started checking out to see what other apps were out there that would kind of tick that box. I have been following the Todoist YouTube channel for a while, and I liked what they were doing, I liked what they were sharing, and I checked out Todoist, and it seemed to tick that box. So the fun began, and I started to transfer all of my tasks and reoccurring tasks into Todoist. There is a lot of good, which made me question myself why it has taken me so long to jump ship and join Todoist. And let me start with the very simple, but one that's very specific to my use case, and that is I do not get kicked out of the app anymore. And what I mean by that is whenever I logged into Microsoft To Do, because it's part of our work Microsoft Office 365 account, I have Microsoft Authenticator, which times out after, I don't know, 24 hours, 7 days, I don't know, it changes all the time. I can't really keep on track of it. But the worst thing is when you want to record something on your to-do list and there is a level of friction before you even get to record it. I would get kicked out and I would have to log back in through Microsoft Authenticator, and then I would get to note down my task. Next up, and I'm a little bit giddy about this one made me so happy when I discovered that I could actually do this. One night, I was checking out Todoist. It hadn't been long since I kind of moved everything into that, and I was just playing around with it. And I literally jumped off the sofa and I was like, yes! And my husband was like, what's just happened? Are you okay? And I was like, I can shuffle my priorities for tomorrow. And he was like, what on earth do you mean? So I explained it to him and he was like, yeah, you're just a complete sado, but you'll get it and I'll explain it to you. So with Microsoft To Do, you can't shuffle your priorities for your day until you're in that day. So in the My Day view, all the tasks that I've automatically pulled in with that date for that day, they're there, and you can shuffle them in the morning of, but that's it. You can only shuffle them on that day. With Todoist, and I told you I was a little bit giddy about this, you can shuffle them before that day. I can shuffle priorities for next Wednesday if I wanted. And this is just a complete blow your mind type thing for me because I was so restricted, so limited with that functionality in To Do that now there are no limitations. So that one is a massive improvement specifically for me. So now on the end of the day, as part of my work shutdown ritual, and as part of my way of working, I do that the day before so that I've already prioritized my tasks for the next day. This brings me naturally into the next thing to level up this prioritization even further, and that is the use of the calendar. There is a calendar view in Todoist, and you can drag your tasks into your available slots. And this is why I work digitally, because I could not do this on paper. I couldn't do this analog because my priorities change, sometimes even on a daily basis. And I will need to shuffle things about. And I just don't want to have to scribble things out and everything becomes a bit of a mess. I want to keep it simple and I want to keep it clean, and that's why I keep it digital. Up next, and I said there was going to be a lot of good, up next is planning ahead. With Microsoft To Do, I found it really difficult. There was a lot of friction, just wasn't nice to see what I had already planned in for certain days. Was a day already maxed out, or did I have more capacity to take in more tasks? With Microsoft To Do, I had to go into the planned view and scroll down to that specific day and manually count, okay, I've got 2, I've got 5, I've got 8, no way, I can't add anything else to it. It wasn't user-friendly. With Todoist, I have different options of seeing whether or not I have too many things in for that day already. The first one is if I create a specific task and I go to select the date, it shows me a very small view of the calendar, and each date will have dots under it or not. The dots indicate that there's tasks already planned in for that day. And then if you hover over that dot, it will tell you how many tasks you already have planned in for that day. The second, more visual view, and it's the one that I use the most, is the board view. So I will have this visible across my week, and you can even see it for your upcoming week as well, where the board view will have a breakdown of all of the tasks that you have planned in by day. And it is this view that has improved my planning by reducing the time it takes to do it. I can also add filters. So when I'm at work, I really only want to see the tasks that I have planned in for that day are work related. I don't want to see reminders that are telling me to get my son's PE kit out whenever I'm sorting out his uniform for the next day. I just don't want to see that when I'm on work. So I have created a filter called Only Work Today, and that will filter out any projects that I have that are not work related, giving me that single view and focus of my workday. And the last thing, and I'm probably going to discover more as I continue to use Todoist because I am just loving it, if you can't tell from this video. The last thing is whenever I create a task, there is a comments section and you can attach files, you can attach photographs. So specifically, I have used this for attaching screenshots. So if I have created a task that is specific to something that I have taken notes for, I will, and this is what I've done, I have gone and taken a snapshot of a section of notes from OneNote, as that's what I use digitally in work, and I have saved that and then attached that to the comments sections of a task, so that whenever I come back to do that task, I will be able to quickly see the context and where that has come from. The not yet, and I'm calling this the not yet because it's not bad. I don't have anything negative to say about Todoist, and this video isn't sponsored by Todoist at all. These are all my own thoughts, and the one thing that I have found challenging in this transition is when I was using Microsoft To Do, I talked about integration with the likes of Planner. In Planner, I would have project boards related to specific tasks, owners, and dates, and I relied on this automatically pulling into Microsoft To Do so that whenever it came up in my day view, it was there. So if I wasn't in Planner for a few days, it wouldn't matter. I wouldn't have to worry because I knew it would automatically pull into Microsoft To Do. This has meant that the transition into Todoist has taken a little bit longer. I've had to add more tasks and do it in the right way. That would mean they would be efficient and come up at the right time with the right level of context. So I've had to add a little bit more detail. So if this functionality is here, or project board or whatever it is, someone please tell me and share, and I can change my setup a little bit to improve it even further. If it's not, please get it on your development roadmap to do. So that would be so good, and that would just tick the whole system for me and make it so much better to fit my use case. The last thing is calendar integration. So I have an iPhone and I use iCalendar, and calendar integration for Todoist uses Google. So I'm having to play around a wee bit, use two calendars, 3 if you count Microsoft Outlook, but there's challenges there that I can't connect that directly because of ISMS and all that sort of stuff. But if you could integrate directly with Apple Calendar, that would be super. I think that is coming, so I'll watch out for that one. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. It's very specific to my use case, and the improvements have made a massive impact in the way I work. So I look forward to continuing to use the app. I hope you've gotten value from this, and see you in the next one. Bye.